There's never been a more ripe time for digging into the shadow, exploring the limitations, revealing the victim, resolving old wounds, hurts, pains, grievances, and seeing if there's any way of letting it all go. There's never been a better time. There's never been a more ripe moment. And I know, of course, you could say every moment is a ripe moment, and of course it is, but you know, there's something happening that is intensifying the opportunity. It feels to me in many ways as though we're being squeezed on many different levels. And that squeezing of us energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, existentially, culturally, is causing a great pressure within us and within the collective body. And that pressure is almost the pressure of life and death, growth or kind of constriction. It's like that. It's like we could go the path of expansion or opening or deeper, more loving, more open, more aware, and at the same time we could constrict more, tighten more. Become more burdened, become more lost. And this is so crucial for us to be aware of. The fork in the path. I mean, there's always a fork in the path. We're always faced with a choice on a certain level of how we respond to energy, how we respond to our experience, how we respond to life, how we respond to whatever's going on around us. And obviously the more intense the things going on around us, the more difficult it is. Because if you're caught in a war, you're really, it's very, very, very difficult to stay equanimous and calm or anything. But most of us, many of us, are not yet or not caught in that demanding environment. Love to those who are. But for us, we're sort of facing this choice all the time. This path, the path of depth and openness and awareness and revealing and digging into shadow, finding out what's really going on with us, looking for truth, removing the veils of illusion, or else we're collapsing into the victim, constricting, giving in to fear, filled with anxiety, which causes its own, problems, both on the physical level, on the relational level that we have with life. So we're facing always this juxtaposition or this bifurcation point. Every moment of our lives, in many ways, we're faced with a choice. The more surface we live, the less choice we seem to have. Which is why the invitation is always to go deeper, because the deeper you go, the more you're aware of a certain degree of choices that you can make. Really not choices about the path, but choices about how you meet the path. Choices of how one consciously decides which path to go down. And we're in intense times. we are in extremely intense times. You know, we're moving through something that has ramped up the pressure. It's like we're in a pressure cooker, and things are popping out, things are busting out all over the place, on the political level, on the cultural level, on the, you know, on the level of beliefs, on the level of opinions, on the level of the ferocity of my belief versus your belief. And this battle has been waged and has been raging for many a year, probably before we even arrived, and probably will long after we depart this mortal coil, until we get to some more enlightened age. You know, but lies are being revealed, truths have become revealed as falsehoods masquerading as truths. Entertainment has all but kind of collapsed in many ways, or become so mutated that there's no soul in it, and it's just superficial, almost manipulation. The amount of manipulation of the individual or of the collective, of the zeitgeist of information, is quite insane. So it causes this intensity. There are galactic waves, there are cosmic waves. We're in an astrological sort of bowl being cooked up. And this makes for a very sort of intense personalized experience. And all I'm really trying to say is that's opportunity. There has never been an opportunity like this. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's necessary to actually self-reflect and self-reflect and self-reflect when you're feeling the pull, when the pull to drama or the pull to anger or the pull to fear, particularly fear in a way, because I think we're living in extremely fearful times, to actually see if there's a way of just staying in equanimity, to stay, and to choose to self-reflect and see where is it inside myself that I can do work, where is it inside myself that I can heal something, that I can let go of something. To let go of that which we feel we can't let go of is a very difficult task for most people in a way, but the freedom that comes with actually relieving oneself of the burdens of that which one has carried for a very long time is palpable and is liberating even in itself. You know, and it's hard work. So to turn attention and say, in this time, in these times, in these pressing, trying times where everything is being squeezed and I'm being squeezed, is there something I can do? Is there something some burden I can relieve myself of? Because like the Serenity prayer would say, you know, God grant me and I can't remember it particularly, but God grant me the capacity to change that which I can, and grace to surrender to that which I can't. That was a very clumsy rendition of the Serenity prayer, so I apologize for that. But to say, you know, to turn attention to what is it in my inner environment, what is it in my inner world that I'm fighting with all the time? What is this inner fight that I have, if you have one? What is this inner argument that I have? You know, is it with myself? Is it with the, you know, ghosts of the past? Because we carry the ghosts of the past around with us, don't we? I know that, I remember that. I remember how I used to carry, you know, my father and his ways, his way of being around, and his punitive ways. I carried that around really unconsciously for many a year until I discovered it. Till I discovered it was a kind of voice living inside me, a voice that I'd internalized. So it's like the opportunity to see what voices you may have internalized that are actually no longer relevant and are just playing themselves out almost unconsciously, and they turn into beliefs. They turn into unconscious beliefs that we then, you know, somehow carry with us as we navigate our way through this existence. And so the invitation is to bring awareness to that in this time, because this is the opportunity. There's a door open. There's definitely doors are open. You know, doors of awareness, doors of self-love, doors of forgiveness, doors of equanimity, doors of grace. We don't have to, you know, worry so much about the external world. Focus on the internal world. Where are we out of alignment with the harmony of nature, of the universe, and of ourselves, of our innate wholeness? This is really so important, because we're so fragmented. We live these fragmented lives where the body is sort of there, and the emotions are over there, and the mind is there, and the spirit is somewhere up there, and they're all almost dissociated from each other. And that means that we're powerless, and that means that we're more likely to react in a victim of life kind of way. The video I made yesterday, I think, was talking a bit about that, about the possibility of coming into this deeper harmony. But to come into deeper harmony, we have to do some work, really, and make some effort to look at where the disharmony is. Where's the disharmony in your experience? And to actually seek to shine the light on that disharmony. It doesn't have to be as arduous, as difficult as we think. It just, you know, requires us to kind of push through and surrender at the same time. Pushing through old beliefs, rigid, stuck patterns, surrendering the one who wants to fight all the time, surrendering the one who wants to argue all the time, surrendering the one who holds the righteous banner, or surrendering the victim, and then pushing through, you know, pushing through in the sense of persistence. Persistence to know there's a light that shines through everything, and we are that light, and that light is within, shrouded by a veil of darkness. And we are that light, and to feel that light, to know that light, and to keep courting that light is actually the grace. You know, that is the grace, and we all have the capacity to do that. And it means coming into harmony and shining the light on the bits of shadow, of darkness. Never been a better time. This is so powerful. This week is powerful, extremely powerful. We're in a time of Aries, and you know, this I would encourage you to, you know, dig in and shine the light and be strong, be softly strong with yourself and with the world. Don't jump to the world too much. The world is insane. We can do something about that or not, you know, but we can do something about ourselves. Can do something about ourselves. Always, always, always. That's what I wanted to say. Bless you.